The night was very quiet. A tall office building stood in the middle of the city. Most lights were off. Only one floor was still awake. The cleaning floor. A black woman named Mary pushed her cleaning cart slowly across the hallway. The wheels made a soft sound. The sound echoed because the place was empty. Mary worked the night shift. Every night, when others slept, she cleaned. When others dreamed, she wiped floors. She looked tired. Her shoulders were low. Her steps were slow. But she kept moving. She stopped near a big glass window and looked outside. Cars moved far below like tiny lights. The city was alive, but she felt alone. Very alone. Mary checked her phone. No new messages. She sighed and put the phone back in her pocket. She picked up her mop and started cleaning again. She cleaned desks. Big desks. Clean desks. Desks of people who earned more money in one day than she earned in 1 month. People who never noticed her. During the day, they walked past her like she was air. No hello. No smile. Sometimes not even eye contact. She reached the end of the hallway and stopped in front of a large door. The boss's office. This room was always clean. Always perfect. But tonight, Mary felt extra tired. She opened the door and stepped inside. The office was quiet. The air felt heavy. A big chair stood behind a large desk. Family photos were on the wall. Awards. Gold frames. Mary looked around slowly. She whispered to herself, "Just 5 minutes, just 5. She placed her cleaning tools down and sat on the edge of the chair. Not to relax, just to breathe. Her hands were shaking. She looked at them and smiled sadly. "These hands clean everything," she said softly. "But nobody sees them." Her eyes moved to the glass wall. She saw her reflection. A tired woman in a blue uniform. A woman with dreams she never talked about. She stood up again and began cleaning the desk. As she cleaned, her thoughts became loud. She remembered the morning. A manager had shouted at her, "Why is this floor still dirty?" She remembered co-workers laughing when she dropped a bucket. She remembered someone saying, "She's just a cleaner." Mary swallowed hard. She cleaned faster, like she was running from her own thoughts. Then her phone vibrated. She froze. She looked around, nervous, then pulled it out. It was her son. She answered quietly, "Yes, baby." Her face changed. Her smile disappeared. She listened. Her eyes filled with tears. "Yes, I know," she said. "I will try." The call ended. She stood there silent. The school wanted money again. Books. Uniform. Fees. Mary wiped her eyes quickly. "No crying," she whispered. "Not now." She picked up the mop again. What she did not know was this. A small red light blinked softly above the door. A security camera. It had been on the whole time. In another part of the building, a screen showed the office. It showed Mary cleaning, talking to herself, sitting for a moment, standing again. She believed she was alone. She was not. Mary finished cleaning the desk and moved to the shelf. She dusted every corner carefully. She worked with respect, even when nobody was watching. Because that was who she was. She walked back into the hallway. The long hallway felt even longer now. Her footsteps echoed. She stopped near the elevator and leaned against the wall. Her body felt heavy. "I'm so tired," she whispered. She closed her eyes for a moment. Just one moment. The camera above the hallway followed her. In a security room, far away, a man walked past the screens. He was heading out for the night. Then he stopped. He looked at one screen. He leaned closer. On the screen was Mary. Alone. Tired. Still working. The man frowned. He did not walk away. Back in the hallway, Mary opened her eyes and stood straight again. She fixed her uniform. She pushed her cart forward. She did not know that her long night had just been seen, and her life was about to change. But first, the night was not over. The hallway felt colder now. Mary pushed her cleaning cart forward, step by step. The sound of the wheels followed her like a shadow. The lights above flickered softly, making the long hallway look endless. She stopped near the break room door. Inside, she could hear voices. Laughter. Mary knew those voices. Office workers from the late shift. People who wore clean clothes and spoke loud, like they owned the place. She waited. She always waited. After a few seconds, the door opened. 2 workers came out. They did not see her at first. Then one of them laughed and said, "Careful." The cleaner is blocking the way. Cleaner. Not Mary. Not her name. She quickly moved her cart aside. I'm sorry, she said softly. The workers walked past her without looking back. Mary stood still for a moment. Her face stayed calm, but inside, something hurt. She continued walking. As she cleaned the next office, her mind went back to the morning. The memory came without asking. It was early. The building was full. People rushed around with coffee cups and phones. Mary was cleaning the lobby floor. A manager walked over and pointed at a small mark. Why is this still dirty? He said loudly. Mary looked down. The mark was almost gone. I will clean it again, she said. The manager shook his head. You cleaners are all the same, he said and walked away. People heard it. People looked at her. Some smiled. Some looked away. No one said anything. Back in the present, Mary pressed her lips together. She cleaned the desk harder than needed, like she was trying to erase the memory. She moved to another floor. This floor had glass offices and bright white lights. Everything looked perfect here. Too perfect. Mary wiped fingerprints from the glass walls. As she worked, a group of employees walked by. One of them dropped a paper cup. It rolled to Mary's feet. Hey, the man said. Pick that up. Mary bent down and picked up the cup. Thank you, the man said, already walking away. She watched them leave. She wanted to say something, anything, but she stayed silent. She always stayed silent. Later that night, Mary entered the boss's office again. She did not want to be there, but it was part of her job. She cleaned slowly. The room felt different now. Heavy, like it was holding secrets. She looked at the chair again. She did not sit this time. She moved to the window and cleaned the glass. As she wiped, she saw her reflection again. She stopped. The woman in the glass looked older than she felt. Lines on her face. Tired eyes. Is this all? She whispered. Is this my whole life? Her phone vibrated again. She jumped, scared. She answered quickly. Yes, she said. Her voice changed when she heard the other side. Yes. I understand, she said quietly. I will find a way. The call ended. Her hands dropped to her side. She leaned against the desk, breathing slowly. Her chest felt tight. She thought about her son, his smile, his dreams. I can't fail you, she whispered. She stood up straight and finished cleaning the office. When she left, she closed the door gently, like she respected the space more than it respected her. As she walked down the hallway, something unexpected happened. A security guard came around the corner. He looked at her and frowned. You're still here? He asked. Yes, Mary said. I work nights. The guard looked at his watch. Don't sit around, he said. Just clean and move. Mary nodded. Yes, sir. He walked away. Her hands shook again. She felt small. Invisible. She reached the end of the hallway and stopped. Her cart felt heavier than before. Her body felt weak. She rested her head for just a second. No one cares, she whispered. No one sees. But she was wrong. Because far away, in a quiet room filled with screens, someone was still watching. And what Mary thought was just another night of humiliation was about to become something much bigger. Something that would change everything. The security room was quiet. Only the soft hum of machines filled the air. Screens covered the wall, showing every corner of the building. Empty halls, dark offices, closed doors. A tall man walked in slowly. This man was Mr. Anderson. He was the boss, the owner, the man everyone feared during the day. He was about to leave for the night when something made him stop. One screen. He leaned closer. On the screen was a woman pushing a cleaning cart. Her steps were slow. Her shoulders were low. She looked tired, but she did not stop working. Mr. Anderson crossed his arms and watched. He saw her clean the glass walls carefully. He saw her bend down to pick up trash that was not hers. He saw her stop for a moment, then continue. He frowned. Most cleaners rushed. Most skipped corners. But not her. The screen showed her face clearly now. Her name badge read, Mary. Mr. Anderson did not remember her name before. He had walked past her many times. He had never looked twice. Now he could not look away. Mary entered his office. He felt strange watching someone move inside his private space. He almost looked away, but he didn't. He saw her clean his desk with care. He saw her dust his awards. He saw her pause near the window and look at her reflection. Then he heard her voice through the security audio. Soft, Broken. These hands clean everything, she said. But nobody sees them. Mr. Anderson's breath slowed. She sat on his chair, only for a moment. Not relaxed. Not proud. Just tired. She stood again quickly, like she was afraid. Then her phone rang. Mr. Anderson watched her face change. He could not hear the other voice, but he saw her eyes fill with tears. He saw her turn away and wipe her face fast. No crying, she whispered. Not now. Something hit Mr. Anderson deep inside. A memory. His mother. She worked nights too. She cleaned offices. She came home tired. She smiled anyway. People had ignored her the same way. He remembered how she once said, "People see my work, not me." Mr. Anderson lowered himself into a chair. He kept watching. Mary left the office and moved into the hallway. She leaned against the wall for a moment. "I'm so tired," she whispered. Mr. Anderson felt his chest tighten. The security guard entered the room. "Sir," the guard said, "do you want me to tell her to keep moving?" Mr. Anderson raised his hand. "No," he said. The guard looked surprised. "She's doing her job," Mr. Anderson continued. "Let her work." The guard nodded and stepped back. Mr. Anderson stood up. He took off his jacket. He looked at the screen one last time. Mary pushed her cart forward again. Alone. Quiet. Strong. He did not see weakness. He saw dignity. He saw honesty. He saw someone the world had trained to stay silent. Mr. Anderson made a decision. He turned off the screen. Then he walked toward the elevator. Upstairs, Mary entered another office. She cleaned without knowing anything had changed. She did not know eyes had followed her pain. She did not know her words had been heard. She did not know her night had meaning now. The elevator doors opened quietly. Mr. Anderson stepped out onto the floor. The hallway was empty. He walked slowly. Mary heard footsteps. She froze. Her heart started beating fast. She turned around, and there he was, the boss, standing there, watching her. Her hand shook. Her mind raced. She thought of the chair, the camera, the rules. "I'm sorry, sir," she said quickly. "I was just cleaning. I didn't." Mr. Anderson raised his hand. "Mary," he said. She stopped breathing. He knew her name. "I saw everything," he said calmly. Her world felt like it stopped. She waited for the words she feared most. "You're fired." But those words did not come. Instead, the silence grew heavy. And for the first time in a long time, someone was truly seeing her. Mary stood very still. Her hands were cold. Her heart was loud. The boss was right in front of her. Mr. Anderson looked calm, but his eyes were serious. The hallway lights reflected on the clean floor between them. The cleaning cart stood beside Mary like a shield that could not protect her. "I saw everything," he said again. Mary's mind rushed fast. The chair, the camera, the rules. She lowered her head. "I'm sorry, sir," she said softly. "I didn't mean to sit. I was just tired. Please don't fire me." Her voice shook. She waited. Seconds felt like minutes. Mr. Anderson did not speak right away. He looked around the hallway. The clean walls. The shining floor. The quiet building. "All of this," he said slowly, "looks clean every morning." Mary nodded. "Yes, sir. But nobody ever asks how it gets clean," he said. She did not know what to say. "I saw you work," he continued. "I saw how careful you were. I saw how you cleaned things that were already clean." Mary swallowed. "I try my best," she said. "It's my job." Mr. Anderson looked at her hands. They were rough, dry, tired hands. "You didn't steal," he said. "You didn't sleep. You didn't complain." Mary's eyes filled with tears again, but she tried to stop them. "I don't want trouble," she whispered. Mr. Anderson shook his head. "You're not in trouble." She looked up slowly. Her eyes met his. "You're not?" she asked. "No," he said. "You're not." The silence changed. It was not heavy now. It was warm. Mr. Anderson walked closer, but not too close. "What were you talking about on the phone?" he asked gently. Mary hesitated. She had never told anyone at work about her life. But something in his voice felt different. "My son," she said. "His school." She paused. "They want money again." Mr. Anderson nodded. "How old is he?" 10, Mary replied. "He wants to be an engineer." A small smile touched Mr. Anderson's face. "That a good dream," he said. Mary nodded. "He studies hard," she said. I just don't know how to give him more." Her voice broke. "I clean every night," she continued. I work extra hours. I still smile. But sometimes it feels like no one sees me. Tears fell now. She did not stop them. I feel invisible, she said. Mr. Anderson looked away for a moment. Then he looked back at her. I see you, he said. Those words hit her harder than anything else. She covered her mouth with her hand. No one had ever said that to her before. I see you, he said again. And I heard you. Mary tried to speak, but no words came out. Mr. Anderson reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. I want you to come to my office tomorrow morning, he said. Her fear returned. Am I in trouble? She asked. No, he replied. I want to talk. He looked at her card. Finish your shift, he said. Take your time. Mary nodded slowly. Yes, sir. He turned to leave, then stopped. Mary, he said. She looked up. Thank you, he said, for your work. Then he walked away. Mary stood there long after he was gone. Her chest felt tight, but not from pain. From hope. She wiped her tears and looked at the hallway again. Same walls. Same lights. But everything felt different now. She pushed her cart forward. For the first time that night, her steps felt lighter. She did not know what would happen tomorrow. She did not know why the boss had thanked her. But one thing was clear. She was no longer invisible. And this night was only the beginning. The next morning came too fast. Mary did not sleep much. Her mind kept replaying the night again and again. The boss. His words. I see you. She stood in front of the mirror in her small room and fixed her uniform. It was clean but old. She brushed her hair and took a deep breath. Be strong, she whispered to herself. When she reached the office building, everything felt different. The same doors. The same guards. But her heart was beating faster than usual. She was called to the boss's office. Mary walked slowly down the hallway. Every step felt heavy. People passed her. Some looked at her. Some didn't. She knocked on the door. Come in, a voice said. She entered. Mr. Anderson was standing near the window. Sunlight filled the room. He turned and looked at her. Good morning, Mary, he said. Good morning, sir, she replied. Please sit, he said. She hesitated, then sat down carefully. He did not sit behind his desk. He sat across from her. I want to talk about last night, he said. Mary's hands rested in her lap. They were shaking. I'm sorry again, sir, she said quickly. I didn't mean to. He raised his hand. You don't need to apologize, he said. You did nothing wrong. She looked up confused. I watched the full recording, he continued. I saw how people spoke to you. I saw how you were treated. Mary felt her chest tighten. You saw that? She asked softly. Yes, he said, and it should not happen. He leaned forward. Mary, how long have you worked here? 7 years, she answered. 7 years, he repeated slowly. And no one ever asked you about your life? She shook her head. No, sir. He nodded and picked up his phone. Mary felt nervous. He typed something, then made a call. Hello, he said. Yes, I need HR in my office. Now. Mary's eyes widened. Her heart dropped. Human resources. This is it, she thought. Mr. Anderson ended the call and looked at her. Mary, he said calmly. I want you to listen carefully. She nodded. I'm not calling them because you did something wrong, he said. I'm calling them because something wrong has been done to you. Her eyes filled with tears again. Before she could speak, there was a knock on the door. 2 people from HR entered. They looked surprised to see Mary sitting there. Mr. Anderson stood up. This is Mary, he said. She works nights. She keeps this building clean. They nodded. I want to know, he continued, why she has never been promoted, why her pay has stayed the same, and why no one here knows her name. The room went silent. One of the HR staff tried to speak. Sir, she's part of the cleaning team. Mr. Anderson raised his hand. She is part of this company, he said firmly. Mary's heart was racing. He turned to her. Mary, I want you to tell them what you told me, he said. She swallowed hard. She spoke slowly. She talked about her son, about the school fees, about the night shifts, about being invisible. No one interrupted her. When she finished, the room was very quiet. Mr. Anderson looked at HR. This ends today, he said. He picked up a file from his desk. I want her role reviewed, he said. I want her pay increased. And I want respect. The HR staff nodded quickly. Mr. Anderson turned back to Mary. You did nothing wrong, he said again. You showed honesty, hard work, dignity. Mary's tears fell freely now. I don't know what to say, she whispered. He smiled gently. You don't need to say anything, he replied. Just keep being who you are. He handed her an envelope. Open it later, he said. Mary stood up slowly. Thank you, she said. Her voice was full of emotion. As she left the office, people watched her walk down the hallway. They did not know what had happened, but they could feel something had changed. Mary held the envelope close. Her life was turning in a way she never expected, and the biggest surprise was still waiting inside. The office was louder than usual that morning. People stood in small groups, whispering. Phones were in hands. Eyes moved toward the hallway again and again. Something was happening. Mary felt it the moment she walked in. She wore the same blue uniform, same shoes, same quiet walk. But today, every step felt different. People were looking at her, not through her, at her. She kept her head down and pushed her cleaning cart forward. Her heart beat fast, but she kept her face calm. Why are they staring? She wondered. A woman from accounting leaned toward another worker. That's her, she whispered. The cleaner. Mary heard it. She pretended she didn't. Then her phone vibrated. She stopped and checked it. A message from HR. Please come to the main meeting room at 10 a.m. Her stomach tightened. Meeting room? She had never been called there before. At 10 sharp, Mary stood outside the large glass room. Inside, many chairs were filled. Managers, workers, supervisors. Mr. Anderson stood at the front. She hesitated. Come in, Mary, he said. His voice was calm but clear. Everyone turned to look at her. Mary walked in slowly. Her hands were cold. Her heart was loud. She stood near the door, unsure where to go. Please, Mr. Anderson said, pointing to a chair near the front. Sit here. She sat. The room was silent. Mr. Anderson looked around. I called this meeting, he began, because I want to talk about respect. Some people shifted in their seats. This building looks clean every day, he continued. But we forget who makes it clean. He turned toward Mary. This woman works every night, he said. She keeps this place running. Mary felt her face grow warm. She has worked here for 7 years, he continued, and many of you do not even know her name. Silence. Her name is Mary, he said. Some people looked down. Mr. Anderson took a breath. Starting today, he said, things will change. He nodded toward HR. Mary's heart raced. HR stood up and spoke. Mary will no longer be on night cleaning only, the woman said. She has been offered a new position. Whispers filled the room. Mary froze. New position? With a higher salary, HR continued. Day hours. Benefits. Mary's eyes widened. Mr. Anderson raised his hand. There is more, he said. The room went quiet again. Mary's son's school fees will be covered by this company, he said. Gasps spread through the room. Mary covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes. This is not charity, Mr. Anderson said firmly. This is fairness. He looked at the room. And let me be clear, he added. How we treat people matters. He paused. If anyone disrespects her, he said, they answer to me. The meeting ended quietly. People stood slowly. Some looked ashamed. Some looked surprised. Mary stayed seated. She felt like she could not move. Mr. Anderson walked to her side. Are you okay? He asked. She nodded, tears falling. I don't know what to say, she whispered. He smiled. You don't need to say anything, he replied. Just walk forward. He handed her another envelope. This is for you, he said. Mary stood up. As she walked out of the meeting room, people stepped aside. One woman spoke softly. Congratulations, Mary. Mary nodded. Thank you, she said. She reached the hallway mirror. The same mirror. She looked at herself. Same woman. Same face. But something inside was stronger now. She held the envelope tightly. One more surprise remained, and it would change her life forever. The hallway was quiet again, but it was not the same kind of quiet as before. Mary stood alone near the window, holding the envelope Mr. Anderson had given her. Her hands trembled, not from fear this time, but from emotion. She took a deep breath. Slowly, she opened it. Inside were papers, neatly placed. She pulled them out one by one. The first paper was a letter. Promotion offer. Her eyes widened. She read it again, slowly, to make sure it was real. A new role. Office assistant. Day shift. Training included. Her heart began to beat faster. She turned the page. The second paper was a check. The amount made her sit down. It was more money than she had ever seen at one time. Her hands shook harder now. Tears fell onto the paper. She covered her face and cried quietly. Not loud, not broken. These were tears of release. For years, she had carried pain in silence. For years, she had cleaned floors while people stepped over her. For years, she believed she was invisible. She was wrong. A soft knock came. Mary wiped her face quickly. "Come in," she said. Mr. Anderson stood at the door. "I wanted to see if you opened it," he said. She nodded. "I don't know how to thank you," she said. He shook his head. "You already did," he replied, "by never giving up." He sat across from her. "Mary," he said, "this building runs because of people like you." She listened carefully. "My mother worked like you," he continued. "She cleaned offices at night. She was ignored too." Mary looked at him with surprise. "She taught me something," he said. She said, "Character shows when no one is watching." Mary smiled through tears. "I saw your character," he said. She took a deep breath. "What happens now?" she asked. "Now," he said, "you walk forward." Later that day, Mary walked through the office one last time as a cleaner. She moved slowly, touching the wall she had wiped for years. Some people stopped her. "I'm sorry," one man said quietly. Another woman smiled. "You deserve this," she said. Mary nodded. She did not need apologies. She had peace. That evening, Mary went home early. Her son opened the door. "Mom," he shouted. She hugged him tightly. "How was school?" she asked. He smiled. "Good," he said. "They said my fees are paid." Mary laughed and cried at the same time. "Yes," she said. "They are." She held him close. That night, Mary stood in front of the mirror again. The same mirror. But this time she stood tall. She looked at herself and smiled. "I see you," she whispered. The next morning, Mary walked into the building in different clothes. Simple, clean, confident. People greeted her. "Good morning, Mary." She smiled. "Good morning," she replied. As she walked to her new desk, she passed the cleaning staff. She stopped. She looked at them. "Good morning," she said kindly. Their faces lit up. She knew what it meant. Mary sat at her desk and opened her notebook. Her life was not perfect, but it was hers, and she had learned something important. No work is small. No person is invisible. Sometimes all it takes is one person willing to see,